Hey, fellow traders, and happy Sunday. Hope you're having a great weekend. Hope you've relaxed a little bit, enjoyed your family, enjoyed whatever it is that you like to do, your hobbies. And it's always a good time to reflect and to refresh yourself. And Sundays are a good time to reflect, of course, on the market and the week ahead. And that's what this video today is all about. It's about reflecting on the market, what's happened, and what we can anticipate happening coming into the week ahead. So I like to do that on Sundays, kind of plan and prepare my week ahead, know what currencies that I'm going to be looking at most to be trading, the direction that I believe that they're going to go, and of course being nimble. That's really one of the keys to being a great trader, is not being married to a particular idea or a particular position, especially when it comes to a direction in the market. You know, one of the most beautiful things about Forex trading is that we have the ability to buy and sell with the same amount of ease. So it doesn't matter if the market's going up. It doesn't matter if the euro-US dollar is going up, the dollar's losing strength, and the euro is gaining strength against the dollar. It doesn't matter if the euro-US dollar is going down and the dollar is gaining strength and the euro is losing value. We have the ability to make money the same way on both sides of the coin. So that's one of the great things that I love about Forex trading. It's why I'm in the market. And one of the things that you have to learn to do if you want to be a great Forex trader is you have to learn not to ever be married to a particular bias or to a particular side. If the market gives you a signal to go long, then you need to go long. If the market gives you a signal to go short, then you need to go short. You need to be selling. If you only want to go long, then you just simply need to wait for buying opportunities. If you only want to go short, you simply need to wait for selling opportunities. So that's what we're going to talk about today in today's daily video. We're also going to talk about some of the plays that I'm going to be looking at and looking for this week as the market gets ready to crank up here. As a matter of fact, the market is just getting going here. Right now it is 4 o'clock exactly, so the market's just opened after the weekend, and doesn't look like there's a whole lot changed so far, but we'll see as we get into our conversation here. Well, let's look at the euro-US dollar first. This is a pair that we have been trading. It's a pair that we've been making some decent profits on. You can see here we've had a buy signal on the euro-US dollar all the way from back here, actually, in September. Been looking to buy this market, and of course last week I talked about how we were coming right back into this resistance zone again. If I draw a horizontal line on the chart, you'll see it there. This is really our resistance zone here. We've got a resistance zone between about this 114.70 level all the way up to the 117.13 level. That's really a strong resistance area right there that we've been bouncing into for several months in the euro-US dollar. So we need to pay close attention to this area and what happens within this area. Last week I talked about how we need to be looking for shorts when we come back up into this area, this 114.70 all the way back up into this 117.13 area. And that's essentially what we saw happen, of course, last week on Thursday and on Friday. We saw two short opportunities. Boom, boom. Both days were shorting days, especially if you drop down into the lower time frame, 4-hour, 1-hour charts. You would see a number of sell opportunities that you could have made playing both of those days. So support and resistance is really, really powerful within the markets. You have to know where those support resistance areas are. I call it market structure, where market structure is. Where are the levels of market structure? Market structure high and market structure low. Those are important things for you to understand. So the market structure here to the resistance side or to the high side is between 114.70 and 117.13 for the euro, and we saw that play out perfectly at the end of last week. So what are the plays to be looking for this week? Well, let's talk about that right now. So we're going to drop down into a lower time frame chart first, the 4-hour chart, then we'll go down into the 1-hour chart. But as you can see here in the 4-hour chart, we've kind of dipped below our 50 exponential moving average there. Williams percent has dipped below the negative 80 level. You can see that the trend is up. Here is the what we call the Ichimoku cloud. That's a great way to determine trend. As you can see right here, the trend is up. that means that we still need to be looking for buying opportunities. Now, if I drop down here, where is my next level of structure support in this particular market? It's going to be right here between 113.17 and down here, roughly around this area here, about 112.57, somewhere around in this area. That's going to be our next level of structure support for these particular currencies. Now, basically what we'd be looking to do is for this market to turn around somewhere around here and go back up and retest these highs. That's what we're looking for. If we pull a fib, Fibonacci is one of the great tools that we use from swing low to swing high here. On this 4-hour chart, you can see that we're coming right down into that 50% fib. That 113.17 level actually coincides with the 50% fib, and the 61.8 fib, the 0.618 fib, coincides with this 127.71, somewhere around, like I said, that 1.12 rather 57. This is 1.1271. So in between these areas, we need to be looking for buy signals to go back long. That's my prediction here, that we're going to be going back to the high side, retesting these highs again, and then we'll see if we can break through. Anything a break above the 115 area, that's going to give us an indication to go long. If we go back to the daily chart, you can see here the 115 level is that high that we broke above the high. The last high that was made was on September 18th. So we did break above that high, but we couldn't stay above that high. So if we can break above the 115, I think we've got a shot at going to the 117. That's a couple hundred pip move right there. So if we can find an opportunity to do that on the lower time frame charts like the 1 hour or the daily, then we'll be in good shape there. You can look once again for any kind of reversal pattern here also on this 1 hour chart. Now, we've already had a gap to the upside. The gap has been filled. So we may see prices move to the upside here rather quickly. I'd be paying attention for any kind of indication of reversal candle if maybe price drops below here and then goes back up above again, or if price breaks out of this 113.91 level somewhere around in here, then we're going to be looking to go back up and test these highs right here, the 115.95. Now, as far as profit targets, if that prediction does come to pass and we do see the markets move back up, then what we're going to do as far as profit target goes is we'll just look right here at this fib retracement. I like doing a fib retracement here. And 115 or 1.1596, right up almost to that 116 level. Again, if we break the 115 level, we could see prices go up to 117. But probably not before we see some kind of a pullback, test back into this high, and then go back the opposite direction. So short term, we'd be looking at 115.40 to 115.96. Those would be the target ranges here if price does move to the upside. Now, if price continues to go down, if we go over to the daily chart once again, and let me just get rid of some of these drawing tools here. If we drop below the low of this day at 113.34.4, then we can probably see price once again go down into that level that I was talking about earlier, that 112.57 level, even possibly down into this 111.48, 111.40 level, somewhere around there. That is a possibility as well before we see a reversal to come back to the upside. Remember, this has been in a tight range here. We've been basically in between a very tight range here for several months now, all the way going back to August. We've been in this real tight range here. So we're going to look to continue to play that tight range until we get a breakout to the upside. So here's the breakout level for right now, is that 115 area. If we get a breakout to that upside, then we can see the 117 high. All right, that's the euro, US dollar, pound dollar. Same kind of a thing here. We've been in this kind of range here for the last couple of months here, or at least month, 30 days. We've been in this range here. We've had a nice, real strong bullish candle. Anything above this 155.14 area, breaking above our Ichimoku cloud there, is going to send prices going up here, testing the 156.44 156.54 area, and all the way up to this 158.33 area. So that's what's going to happen on the pound dollar if we break above this high. So I'd be looking for buys above the 155.06 area or 155.10, somewhere around in there. I'd be looking for buys. Now, from a short-term perspective, if we drop down into the 4-hour chart, anything below this 154.14 level here, we can see prices drop down, and retest these areas down here around 152. Somewhere in the 152.60, 152.70 range. That's probably a good area right there that we'd be looking for this market to then bounce back to the upside. But once again, anything above this area, and we're going to see some buying. If we go to the 1-hour chart, there's even more buying opportunity. If prices fail to go below this 154.16 area. If prices fail to go below that area and we get a real reversal type signal or continuation type pattern, look how above the Ichimoku cloud we are in. We've come back into the Ichimoku cloud. We've also dropped below our 50 exponential moving average. So we could see price come down to this 154.13 area. If that happens, we'd be looking once again for reversals to go back to the long side. And those are two currencies that we're definitely looking at trading this week, so be on the lookout for those. The other one is the dollar Canadian dollar. Here is the dollar Canadian dollar, the daily chart. As you can see, prices rapidly decline from its highs. However, if you look at oil prices still have not risen to the levels that the Canadian dollar fundamentally needs to be strong at. Notice where we've come down into now. If I take just a horizontal line here, and I draw it right here, look at this structure support now that we're coming down into, right at that 1.28344 level. Williams percent is below the negative 80. You can see that the 100-day moving average prices dip below that. If we get a price to go back above that 100-day moving average, the Williams percent comes back above that negative 80 level, then we could really see prices come back up and retest these highs. So that's what I'd be looking at in the dollar Canadian dollar, a long bias on the dollar Canadian dollar. And for the short term or for swing trading, I would be looking at the same thing. So basically, I'd be looking for price to break down lower, give us some kind of a reversal signal, and then price to continue back up, and we could go back up and test several different areas right here. The 130.17 area up here, of course the 130.78 area. That's probably a more realistic area of upside testing there. If we draw a fib, you can do all of this analysis. I'm not going to have time to go into all of it today, but if we just draw a fib pullback, you can see the 50% fib right here is the 131.41 area, so we could even see prices drive up into that area. The 61% fib is the 132.18 area. So that's really what we would be looking at there, between the 50% and the 61% fib. For kind of an upside target here on the 4-hour chart if we kind of do get a structure support formation down here, which could very well happen. So once again, euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar CAD, there's many other currencies that we can talk about. I don't have the time to do it today, but I hope you enjoyed this analysis. I hope you got some trade ideas for the week. Be on the lookout once again for everything we've talked about. I encourage you, go back and watch this video over and over and over again. Repetition builds and strengthens. If you don't hear it every day, you're going to lose it. If you don't sharpen your skills every day, they're going to become dull. So it's important for you to sharpen your skills. It's important for you to continue to go back over and over and over and over these particular analysis. I call it chart time. The more chart time you have, the more time at the screen you have, the more time looking at these markets, studying these markets, learning the patterns, the repetition and the patterns that take place. Listen, the better you're going to become at learning where to buy, where to sell in the market, and how you can make a profit from the market. That's really, really key. So I encourage you, Go back through and watch as many videos as you can. Go back through and watch this one over and over again. Look at how I'm analyzing the market. Look at how I'm finding these structure points in the market. Look at how I'm pulling the fibs. Look at how the indicators coincide with one another and coincide with price action. Look at all of these things over and over and over and over and over again, because they're repeatable. The market repeats itself over and over and over and over again. The patterns repeat over and over and over and over again. So you just have to be willing to put in a little time, put in a little investment of your time if you want to get the payday. You're not going to get the payday without the investment of time. You're not going to get the payday without the study, without the learning. That's why you ought to buy every single thing that I put out, because you ought to watch every video that I put out. You got to watch my DVDs and our online trainings and our YouTube channel. Why? Because listen, if you don't study, if you don't put in the time, you're just not going to succeed at it. So once again, go back and watch this video over again, and then this week, begin to prepare your trading week. If you have some great trade ideas, post them below the video. Go to YouTube, post them below the video. Love to hear your feedback. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.